So, Dr. Louis, to start us off, could you briefly introduce yourself and describe what LMS Compliance does today?
Thank you. I'm Dr. Louis from LMS Compliance Ltd. Company was listed in SGX in 2022 December. What we did actually is focus on TIC, testing, inspection and certification business, and currently we also pivot into assurance, which is we grant a lot of third-party independent limited assurance on carbon footprint of the company or the product, and also on project basis.
Now, LMS started as a testing and certification group, but today you are also investing heavily in digital carbon accounting and ESG enablement. From a strategic standpoint, what gap do you see in the market that pushed LMS compliance in this direction?
We can see in this ESG landscape, sometimes we say, I think more properly considered as the sustainability industrial. There's a piecemeal of the so-called three different professional are actually running the so-called business. Number one is consultant. Number two is actually platform ESG apps or SaaS builder. And the third one is actually like us, we are the independent verifier. So being an independent verifier, we need to verify the sustainability report. And the sustainability report actually is the first entry point so that we can verify based on the claim inside the sustainability report. However, we see this gap between the three different professions, and we come up with a very intuitive way to have 3-in-1 training. Number one, we provide training on how to use our proprietary carbon accounting software called iZen, how we teach our clientele on site to use their real-time real data or audited data into the system. At the same time, we also coach them how, to what extent to upload the evidence into the system, so that begin with end in mind is to get the company to be verified independently. So it's 3-in-1 concept, which is different from others player. We merge all the needs to get consulting, which is training, and then we provide the proprietary carbon apps called iZen, and then verification at the end point of the activities.
So how does a platform like iZen change the way companies manage emissions on a day-to-day basis compared to traditional consultant or spreadsheet-driven approaches?
Again, what I shared just now is macro level, which is the decoupling between three profession: platform, carbon accounting platform, consultant, and verifier. Now we look at micro, when we have digital asset or digital emissions data into the same system, to some extent, in order to get it verified, comfort the independent verifiers recommending the statement. I think the system needs to be robustness, so-called perform, convince the verifier that the data was accurate. Hence, it's actually inside the data itself, the platform itself, we already store the data of emission, activity data, and for the activity data are supported by the evidence of audited performance based on the company financial years. And then from there, inside there, we also store the emissions inventory report as per boundary, as per ISO 14064-1, organization emission scope 1, 2, and 3 standard inside the same platform, so that our verifier can come on board online to just draft the data and then do verification on site. So what makes us different or distinct to other suppliers is actually this platform store not only data, include the verification traceable report. And this particular data set can be actually blockchain and then template proof. You cannot change it anymore because come together with this verification report. Something that I would like to highlight is the verification report come together with the QR code. When the intended user scan the QR code, it actually not only access to the independent assurance report, but indeed is supported by all the activity data inside the same system. Hence, it's actually all in one, in micro level.
And with growing scrutiny around greenwashing, credibility has become critical. LMS Compliance holds verification and validation accreditations across jurisdictions. From your perspective, what distinguishes audit-ready or decision-grade carbon data, and how does LMS ensure emissions and avoidance claims can withstand independent verification and investor scrutiny?
As an independent verifier point of view, number one, I think we are the considered batch number one to get it accredited by SAC. Indeed, currently my two peers is actually doing assessments for SAC accreditation. So for the SAC accreditations, currently we already got the accreditation for ISO 14064-1 standard, which is we cover 11 scope, excluding carbon capture and storage, which is currently not offered by SAC. So the rest one, other industry, we already as a scope of accreditation obtained last year. Along the way, we also got accreditation from Standard Malaysia's STEAM is considered the VVB standard 17029 series. With that, I think independent so-called assessments we actually reduce the greenwashing potential, where it's similar to what accounting perspective. If in accounting we say window dressing, you window dress your profitability, you window dress your asset in order to get loan, and of course without the auditor, financial auditor come to sign off, you have probably a tendency of greenwash your management account. So what we actually compare to financial performance, we are from emission point of view. So on emission, we are not talking about window dress, we are talking about greenwashing. You make your data become more greener, which is not that green to some extent. Hence, we need assurance from third-party point of view to make recommendation or statement to verify that whether it's positive statement or negative statement on your emission. Hence, your claim, your environmental claim will become more solid and accepted worldwide. SAC is actually a member of the IAF. Hence, the report that we issue is actually internationally recognized.
Thank you. And last but not least, for investors watching this who may be revisiting LMS compliance for the first time, what is the one thing that you will want them to understand about your company, and how is it positioning itself in the decarbonisation and carbon data economy? And last but not least, what should they be looking for next?
We are the strong believer on decarbonomics. Decarbon economics. So you add together decarbonomics. On this decarbonomics is actually we are forming a business model where starting from measure emission data, report the emission data, and then you verify the emission data, and then with the emission data intensity you start create your unique selling proposition. Then from there you decarbonize yourself. You go back to the measure, report, verify. This is a cycle. So nobody, I think, would like to buy high emissions footprint from a supplier A. If a supplier B can offer me lower carbon footprint, I will go for that, because in the end of the day, carbon is money. Carbon is also tax. So you buy something lower carbon footprint, your tendency to pay tax, carbon tax is lower. And also you increase the competitive advantage, as you are probably I would say enjoying first mover advantage, because if the company right now supply chain of MMC, you are the only one that can provide company level emission intensity. You are outdo by others, lie low, the kind of supply chain between the same company. I guess decarbonize is the only way to combat the climate change. Like it or not, I think every day we are suffering, overheating, or flood, flash floods and all these things. So this is actually part of the indicator to tell all the mankind is coming. For me, as a personal, I don't want to migrate in branded mask. I only have one home called planet Earth. So the rest I don't know. I surrender to the gods. But we can influence, we try ourselves to influence the society and also the community just to act together. Because combat the climate change, become sustainability is not one company, it's a community's work. So we believe with this promotion, with this articulation, there will be more company and CEO and society come on board, become a stakeholder to combat the climate change. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing so much insights about LMS compliance, Louis.